Well, hello everybody. It's good to have you back, and it's good to be back. I've been gone from the YouTube for quite a while now with my saltwater aquarium, and it's pretty much because I've been away on my work routine of traveling, and I'm able to produce other types of videos when I'm away from home, but of course I'm not able to produce my aquarium videos without being home with my aquarium. So that's why you've seen me posting but not posting aquarium videos. I just had not been home. And that's all to be said, because that means the aquarium's been neglected now for several months. Now, if you remember, the last video I put out about my aquarium is over my loss. I had collected some tropical fish down in the Florida Keys, and brought a parasite back, and lost my queen angelfish, which I had collected, and only was able to keep him a few months. And when I noticed he had the parasite, and then the great disappointment on losing my long-term. When I say long-term, 3 or 4 years of having the rock beauty, another Atlantic angelfish that has been my show fish for this tank in all the videos. He's now gone as well, and I lost a wrasse that I had collected in the Keys many years ago. And so I've had my losses, but what remains and is a few fish here that I want to talk about. First off, let's take a look at this. If I kind of zoom in here, you can see that, well, I still have my cardinal fish, but look back on that wall, I have a sea urchin. This sea urchin has been in my tank forever. I don't know, probably 10 years. I collected him down in the Florida Keys a good decade ago, and we never hardly ever see him. And I think one of the reasons why we're seeing him, well, he does come out on occasion, but for the most part, I believe what he does is he roams out at night and then kind of tucks away in the shadows during the day. But occasionally, about twice a year or so, I'll see him out roaming the glass or the rocks. In fact, he's on the glass now. The last time I seen him, he was in the rocks here. But look what I have. I have this tank in disarray. Most of August, September, October, and now I'm into November. I've been traveling every single week, with the exception of the hurricane week, which I couldn't get my flight out to go to work, so I was home all week. But I wasn't working on my fish tank. And I'm talking about Hurricane IRMA. I was not able to work on my fish tank. I was really working around the house, cleaning up after the storm. For you, those are curious, I had very little home damage. Pretty much a leaky window that I had to go seal. But other than that, all of the cleanup was from the outside, trees and bushes, and getting out a chainsaw and that sort of thing. But back to the aquarium. The aquarium survived the hurricane. I did lose power during the storm, but we're talking for about I don't know, about 10 hours, I think. I was without power, and I was ready for it. I had backup air stones, and I had the power pump going, and I was ready for, and I've had storms before where I lost power for a week and maintained the tank pretty much air stones. But I'm looking at a generator now for the future, and to keep the house and the tank going. But the tank itself now is in bad shape. It's just I just had not done anything. I hadn't maintained it. Of course, I don't normally do water changes too often anyway, but it seriously needs something here. It's got the cyano, the red slime. It's got here algae growing on some of the rocks. It's just not doing well. And so I hadn't changed filters, the Fosguard, I hadn't changed that. And you can see here, it's in recovery mode. And I think I told you before, after losing the fish, I pretty much just let the tank sit and just stay in recovery mode to see if the fish would survive. The remaining fish did not get the parasite, and so you can see I have the big eye, my big eye squirrelfish still there. I still have my Royal Grama. I actually captured the Royal Grama and put him in a 10-gallon aquarium and quarantined him for quite a while, because he did have something. He had caught the disease, I believe, and I treated him and got him to full recovery. And after a couple months of being in quarantine, I got him back in the main aquarium now. But you can see how a mess it is, and just needs to be cleaned up. Oh, and as you can see on this brain coral, the mushrooms have crept up over my brain coral and are stinging it and killing it, and eventually I will lose that brain if I don't get those mushrooms off. And I've had that brain for several years now, and I hate to lose it. But it's all part of one of the things that I've noticed over my years of keeping corals. When the tank nutrients start to rise and you get a little lax on your discipline, actually the softies start to really do good, and the hard corals begin to diminish. So that's the state of affairs as it was in October, and now in November, of course, it's still in the same condition or worse, except for I just got done cleaning it up. I got in there and manually pulled out any hair and as much as I could. I took the mushrooms off the brain coral and cleaned the glass, and I'm getting ready for my new inhabitants. Hopefully over the holidays I'll begin to repopulate. So actually this is kind of a two-part video. The first part is I videoed about them back in October. That just one of my brief moments home on a Saturday. I did the video and then flew out on Sunday, and then now we're here on the holiday week of Thanksgiving, and I'm presenting this latest video of where the tank is today. And I cleaned it up, but I still need to change out the filters, and I certainly need to get some new fish. So the exciting part is I'm already on the move to purchase some new aquarium fish. And I went out and I got myself a chalk bass. That's an Atlantic fish, and I got him in quarantine. But you can see that, and of course frog spawn is still doing well, and the zoanthids and all are fabulous. And you can see the zoanthids are doing fantastic, and they keep spreading. They spread from that left cluster of rocks, and they're in that middle cluster now. But you notice the bubble coral is absolutely humongous now. I think it's doubled in size. It's just enormous. And of course the Duncan is doing wonderfully well, as you can see. And you can see, I still have the lawnmower blenny. So I got the lawnmower blenny, I got the Royal Grama, and I got the big eye squirrelfish. And so those are the fish that remain. That it's great to still have them. So I didn't lose everything. But yes, the softies all do well, even in poor water quality conditions. And in some cases, they really take off and do extremely well. The mushrooms have been fantastic, but are a concern for the brain. This little brain coral I purchased a few months ago is still living. and hopefully I can keep that one going and doing better. And the bubble is huge. That flat plate up top, the monopore, it died off on me, and that is one of the other great disappointments, because that was a beautiful piece that I had for, I think I'd have to look back over a year, maybe a year and a half, and no reason to lose that other than my own neglect and just not being here for the last few months to pay attention to water quality. I did notice there were still a few polyps that were alive, and but the hope for that to recover is slim. The Duncan is doing well, and the brain coral, now you see I've removed all of the mushrooms off of the and I got half a bare brain now, where it got killed off from the mushrooms, and you can see the deep blue purple polyps, zoanthids, are doing very well at this time. I kind of relocated them back there, and I'm not quite sure where I want them to end up, but well, that's it. I just wanted everybody to know where I was, and that I'm still out there. I'm a long-time hobbyist, and during the downturns that the hobby brings, I just you go through them and you come out the other side. I get so frustrated when I watch the people in the hobby that have beautiful aquariums, and after several years and something happens and they post, "I'm done." And I feel there's no need for that. I mean, this is part of the hobby. Loss is part of the hobby. And not just loss of fish, but, sometimes things happen, and, it's all, to me, it's all part of it. And our failures actually help one another. So hopefully, you got to see me and watch my videos my bragging days, and you get to see me and watch my videos in my days of loss. But that's it for now, and I don't know when I'll get around to posting again, but it's good to have you back and to give you this report, and we'll catch you next time.